This is Civil Engineering Paper 2. Again, it contains general ability 10 questions. 1 to 5 will have 1 mark each. 6 to 10 will have 2 marks each. That is the tradition. Total is 15 marks. The way to give gate, the ideal way to give gate is after starting the exam, within the first 10 to 12 minutes to complete all the general ability part correctly and to have 15 marks in your pocket. That will give you an advantage of almost 18,000 ranks above the others who haven't started with general ability, has started with either the common mathematics or with their core questions. Because the first 10 to 12 minutes, it is generally the perception that most of the students will be able to do 0 or 1 question of them. So I hope you understand, you will immediately go at a distinct advantage. So that is great for you while giving an example. Let us move on. First, if arrow denotes, just hold on a second, 1 second please. If arrow denotes increasing order of intensity, then the meaning of the words drizzle, arrow rain, arrow downpour is analogous to blank, arrow quarrel, arrow feud. Which one of the given options is appropriate to fill the blank? This is a 1 mark question of verbal ability, and once again based on synonyms or antonyms. In this case it is synonyms. So drizzle means light rain, very light rain. Rain, I'm sure everybody of us know what rain is. Downpour means very heavy rain. So I hope you understand the intensity. Now it is analogous to the second most intense is quarrel. We already know what a quarrel is. Not a very serious argument, but an argument nonetheless. And the most intense one is a feud. A feud is a very serious type of and bitter quarrel and pretty prolonged. Feud is a prolonged, serious and a bitter quarrel. So what can be the most less intense form of it? Let us see. See, bog. Bog means, his feet got bogged down in the mud. So what happens when your feet goes inside the mud? Very difficult to express, but I hope you understand. That's called bogging in. Your mind also gets bogged by boredom. So dither. Dither means, what shall I say, sort of, dither means, how shall I express it? It is a way of, taking revenge sort of stuff, a sort of vengeance, dither. You know the meaning of dodge, football dodges, okay, dodged his adversary. But bicker means very petty arguments. Bickering means petty arguments. Your colleague has placed your hand on the desk. You said, no, put your hand off the desk. So that's bickering sort of, So the correct option should be bicker. Synonyms are very important in GATE. Next. This is the second question. Has 1 mark. Is a logical reasoning topic from syllogisms. Syllogisms use Venn diagrams. So basically it's from Venn diagrams. So see, there are 2 statements. All heroes are winners. So if this is a hero, all heroes are winners. Okay. The next statement said, all winners are lucky people. So if this is a winner, all winners are lucky. Okay, these are the two statements. Now, on punching these two statements, I hope you understand that lucky would be somewhere here. Now, what are the conclusions? Let us, all lucky people are heroes. No, that's false. Because see, these areas, they are not heroes. Only this portion is a hero. So this is not true. Some lucky people are heroes. Very true. Some lucky people are heroes. So this is absolutely true. Some winners are heroes. Very true. See, these are the whole year of winners. Some of the winners are heroes. So this is also true. So I will say that only inference number 2 and 3 are can be logically deduced. Which of the above inferences can be logically deduced from the statements? Only 2 and 3. Option number B. Let us move on to the next. This is the third question, and clearly this is a question from arithmetic. Percentage carries 1 mark since it's the third question. A student was supposed to multiply a positive real number p with that of another positive real number q. Instead, the student divided p by q. If the percentage error in the student's answer is 80%, the value of q is what? So the student was supposed to multiply p and q, but instead of that he did p by q. So the percentage error in the student's answer is 80%. Percentage error means the difference between these two divided by the original, that is p by q. This is the right answer. Into 100 must be 80. So basically I can say that 100 pq minus 100 p by q is equal to 80 pq. Cross multiplying and multiplying 100, opening the bracket. So this side and that side, if you move on, it is 20 pq is equal to 100 p by q. So 20 and 100 cancels by 5. P is not equal to 0, because if p is multiplied, p is 0, then the whole sum is irrelevant, because this is 0, this is 0. How can there be an error? So p is not 0, so p can get cancelled. So basically what happens is q squared is equal to 5, or q is equal to root 5. That is our answer. So option number D for us. Let us move on to the next. Is a problem from numbers, and because it is the fourth question, carries 1 mark. It's a problem from modern mathematics topic, numbers. If the sum of the first 20 consecutive odd numbers is divided by 20 square, what is the result? Now see, the first odd number is 1. 1 can be said to be, 1 square is 1. The second odd number is, first one, say that, say suppose I add these. See, that is equal to 4, which is equal to 2 square. Just hold on. Okay. Now, if I add the next consecutive odd number, C is equal to 9, which is 3 square. If I add the next one, C, 1 plus 3 plus 5 is 9, 9 plus 7 is 16, which is 4 square, and so on. So what are we seeing? The summation of consecutive odd numbers creates a perfect square. How do we know which perfect square will it create? See, the number of terms will be equal to n, whose square it is. Okay. So if you are adding the first 20 consecutive odd numbers, then the summation of that must be equal to 20 square. And it is said that you are dividing 20 square by 20 square. The result is 1. So the answer is the first one. Okay. Option number E. These are extreme shortcuts. Let us move on to the next. This is question number 5, carries 1 mark, and as can be seen is a problem on ratio and proportion. So comes from the background of arithmetic, ratio and proportion, and carries 1 mark. The ratio of the number of girls to boys in class 8 is the same as the ratio of the number of boys to girls in class 9. The total number of students in class 8 and 9 is 450 and 360 respectively. If the number of girls in these two classes are the same, then the number of girls in each class is how much? Okay, since the number of girls are the same, let us suppose that the number of girls is equal to x. So in class 8, total students is 450. Girls is x. So boys will be 450 minus x. In class 9, girls is also x. Total is 360. So boys will be 360 minus x. So it has been said that the ratio of girls to boys in class 8, that is x by 450 minus x, is equal to the ratio of boys to girls in 9. So 360 minus x by x. So this is the equation. So let us check what happens. X square becomes equal to 450 into 360. Don't waste time in multiplying this. Minus 360x minus 450x plus x square. X square cancels off. So 360 and 450 both go that side and they become 810. So 810x is equal to 450 into 360. So let us cancel a 0, 0. Let us cancel by 9. This becomes 9, and let us cancel this by 9. This becomes 50. So x is equal to 200. And hence, this is our answer. Option number B, 200. Hope it is clear. Let us move on to the next. This is question number 6, carries 2 marks. Again, as per the standard pattern in 2024, this comes from verbal ability, checking out your grammatical skills. In the given text, the blanks are numbered 1 to 4. Select the best match for all the blanks. Yoko Rui stands dash as an author for standing dash as an honorary fellow. After she stood dash her writings that stand dash the freedom of speech. If you know your grammar, this is simple. Yoko Rai stands out, means was exemplary as an author for standing down and step down from the post as an honorary fellow after she stood by her writings. Stood by her writings means supported her own writing. She was stood by that her writing. That stand for the freedom of speech. This is simple. So it would be out, down, by, for. Out, down, by, for. Out, down, up. No, this is in, so that won't be there. Down, no, out, down. So not. This is not. Down, out. No, out. Okay, out. This is it. Out, down, by, for. Option number D. Hope this is clear. Let's move on. This is question number 8 from mensuration, geometry mensuration, and carries 2 marks. 7 identical cylindrical chalk sticks. We all know how chalk sticks look like. Assume they are cylindrical. Are fitted tightly in a cylindrical container. As you can see here, the cross-sectional view is given. The figure below shows the arrangement of the chalk sticks inside the cylinder. The length of the container is equal to the length of the chalk sticks. The ratio of the occupied space to the empty space of the container is how much? Okay, chalk. Let the radius be r and length be, say, h. Okay, let the radius be r and the length be h. So if you see, volume of one chalk would be equal to pi r square into each. You all know that. There are how many? 1, 2, 3. Oh no, it's given 7 cylinders. So 7 is given. So volume of 7 chalks must be 7 pi r square each. So that is. Now let us consider the cylinder, the big ones. See, the radius of the cylinder is this. The radius of the cylinder is this. So this contains one R, another R, and a third R. So the radius of the cylinder is 3R, and length is the length of the chalk, that is h. So the volume is pi 3R whole square h, that is 9 pi r square h. So the volume of the empty places, these are the empty places. See, ratio of the occupied place to the empty space. So volume of empty space is 9 pi r square h minus 7 pi r square h, that is 2 pi r square h. So the ratio of the occupied, this is the occupied part, to that of the empty part is this, is 7 pi r square h divided by 2 pi r square h. So 7 by 2. Option number B. Hope we have understood. Let's move on. This is question number 8. This is from data interpretation, and as you can see, what is in front of you is a line graph. The plot below shows the relationship between the mortality risk of cardiovascular disease. See, mortality risk of cardiovascular disease and the number of steps a person walks per day. Okay. Based on this data, which one of the following options is true? See, steps per day, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, and mortality risk 0, 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, and 1. So the first option, the risk reduction on increasing the steps per day from 0 to 10,000. The risk reduction from increasing the steps per day from 0 to 10,000. So 0 to 10,000. So it is 0.2, 1 minus 0.2. So this is 1 minus 0.2, that is 0.8. And the risk reduction on increasing the steps from 10,000 to 2,000, 10,000 to 2,000 is very paltry, as you can see, is somewhat around 0.2, approximately 0.2. But it is said that this is less than this. So obviously this is the wrong one. Hope we understood. Let us rub that writing out so that it doesn't create a problem for the later. So we know that this is wrong. Now let's go on to the next option. The risk reduction on increasing the steps from 0 to 5,000. 0 to 5,000. So it will be approximately somewhere around this 0.5 to 1. So it's approximately 0.5. Even less than 0.5. It's just a little less than 0.5. Okay. In fact, it's actually a little more than 0.5, not less than. I made the wrong approach. That was wrong. It's slightly more than 0.5. Slightly more than 0.5. Because 0.5 would be here, while this is a bit on the lower side, so slightly more than 0.5. Is less than the risk of reduction in increases of 15,000 to 20,000. 15,000 to 20,000, I can see it's much, much less. It's just by this amount. So once again, I can say very less. So I can say this is wrong because 0.5 is much larger than this. See, this is the distance, whereas here the distance is this much. So obviously that's wrong. So let us rub that off so that we don't have any problems. For any 5,000 increment in steps per day, for any 5,000, so this gap, this gap, this gap, and this gap, the largest risk reduction occurs on going from 0 to 5,000. Clearly, this is the correct one. See, for the first 5,000, this is the reduction. For the next 5,000, this is the reduction. This is the reduction. Next 5,000, the reduction is only this much. And after that, there is it. So obviously, this is the right one. Now, our number C. We don't have to look at number D once we have found this out. Let us move on. This is question number 9, carries 2 marks and is from puzzles. Just visual puzzle. 5 cubes of identical size and another small cube. These are the 5 cubes of identical size and this is the small cube, are assembled as shown in figure A. If viewed from direction X is from the top, it looks like this. It appears as figure B. If viewed from direction Y, the planar image of the assembly will appear as Y is this part. So clearly it will appear as this. It's very easy. Option A is the answer. I hope I don't need to explain this. It's very apparent. Let us move on to the last question. Question number 10 carries 2 marks. And this is from basic mensuration. Visualize a cube that is held with one of the 4 body diagonals. Okay, what is a body diagonal? Body diagonal is the actual diagonal of a cube. I mean, if this is a cube, if this is a cube, then the diagonal is from this corner to this corner. There are four body diagonals. One will be from this corner to this corner. Another will be from this corner. Sorry, from this corner to this corner. Another will be from this corner to this corner. And that makes three. And the third one will be from this corner to this corner. All of them are equal in a cube. So those are known as the body diagonals, the principal diagonals. That's also the name given. So the body diagonal is aligned to the vertical axis. So this is the vertical axis and the body diagonal is somewhat like this. So very difficult to draw a cube with the body diagonal like that. But then, yes, one can draw one. See, somewhat like this. You have to use your imagination a bit. Not a very big one, it was a very accurate one. But then somewhat it will look like this. See, I hope you understand. This is one body diagonal. For the sake of this, let the body diagonal name be PQ. This is the body diagonal PQ. And let us suppose this is P, let us give some names P, R, S, T. And let us give some names there, say Q, M, and whatever. Let us not name the behinds. So I hope you understand. R is this point, T is this point, S is this point. No, R is not this point. I made a mistake. R is not this point. Okay, wait. Let us do this. Let us do this. Actually, by this deletion, actually things became easier. Just have a little bit of patience. Sort of. Let us make it like this. Let us not draw the behind wala picture. So this is R. This is R. And the body diagonal would be somewhat like this, connecting this point P and this point Q. So they are said, rotate the cube about this axis such that its view remains unchanged. So that means, see, this RQ is here. Rotate the cube such that instead of RQ, now QM comes. Suppose you are rotating in the anti-clockwise direction. So instead of RQ, QM comes here. Instead of RQ, now there is, oh, this is what? Q, and this is also Q. Okay, so I'll have to change this. Let us name this as N. So you see this is RQ is here. Instead of that, NM comes here. TS vanishes. Instead of TS, now RS will be there, RQ will be there. So what happens is something else comes in, starting with a different thing. What is there on behind that? I haven't marked that. But this will now become N, this will become M, and this will become R, and this will become Q. So for that, how much angle is needed to move? Always remember, for this one shift, 120 degree is needed to move. This is a very basic theory. So this, for this shift, for this to come up here and this to go up to here, a 120 degree movement is possible. A 90 plus a 30 degree movement, that is 120 degree movement is possible. So this is a sort of a theoretical question. Once again, a theoretical question has been asked. So that is it. So that puts an end to our discussion.